We've always decided ourselves what we wanted to put out as singles and that sort of thing. We used to get involved with the artwork. We used to have not really much outside influence when we were recording. We were never ever, even in the early days, we were never moulded by some sort of record company or management company. The image that the band had in the early days came from inside the group. So artistically, we sort of had our own direction, and we were self-contained there. And then it was just really the sort of the management business side, really. And at the time, we'd been together for about 5 or 6 years, so we'd had a fair experience of the business with the 2 different managers, but we'd been with EMI all the time. We thought we'd take the step and try and manage ourselves, really. There's 2 main companies. One which is the Queen Productions, which is really for all our English services, every time we do something in England. And then we have one called Rain Cloud Productions, which is for all the overseas services which we do, which tends to be the more active one now, because we do most of our recording overseas. The studio, Jim Beach tends to take a very active interest in that, because there's only actually 3 staff there. And after that, it's mainly Roger and myself. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's the way it's gone, and Brian and Freddie are quite happy for it to be like that. Mm-hmm. So that's the way it carries on. So that's sort of something that's just sort of happened and naturally. So any sort of decisions on that, if Jim doesn't, if he wants to ask, he'd ask me and Roger, mm-hmm. and that would be it probably. Mm-hmm. I'm the only one who really keeps an eye on, basically how much money is coming in, going out, and what sort of position we're in. And also that the overall strategy of the business side is correct. Mm-hmm. I did physics at school, A-levels, 3 A-levels, and then I went on to do electronics at university. I did 3 years of that, which involved a lot of maths as well, quite high-level maths. Money is not the drive so much now. There was a period where it was for a while, because all those years when we had high tax in England, we actually didn't really make that much out of it, so we had a period where we actually went out and we were more conscious about earning some money out of it. But now that's all settled down, and that's more in the past. And because our records, sell around the world, everybody should be reasonably financially secure for their rest of their lives, unless you chuck it away. In England, we live in a semi-detached Victorian house, because we like Victorian houses, and it's not quite big enough. We may move if we find somewhere over the next few years. But we live in West London and fairly close in, and quite like it really, and the children go to a local Catholic school that's just down the road, so it's quite neighbourly really. The difficult thing of living in a big house in London is you get very isolated, and it's quite nice to be able to walk around and go down to the high street and go into Smiths and Boots and Woolworths and those sort of things. At least to have everything fairly handy. I quite like that. But we actually this last year we bought a house in America as well, which is mainly at the moment a holiday home.